To the hacks of English learning. How to speak confidently. Some of you have seen a similar PDF, a similar one, but this one is different. So stay till the end. Hack your English learning. It's time to learn, my students. I'm so happy to be here with you guys because I know how difficult it is to be confident in English. All right? So, first, let's talk a little bit about myself. My name is Daniel Cordoba. I was born in Miami. Okay? I wasn't always an English teacher. I used to be a waiter. Y aquí está una foto mía, a photo of me, at the Faena Hotel. I was a waiter at the best restaurants. Nusret, which is South Bay, The Forge, Faena, Pal, you name it. And I enjoyed my work. But I felt that something was missing. Algo faltaba, something was missing. So I thought to myself, what do I want to do? ¿Qué quiero hacer? I want to travel and I love languages. I love traveling and I love languages. What is going to help me to do those two things? To teach English. And what I did was I implemented what I learned at the restaurant, porque en el restaurante, I learned how to communicate with people in Tagalog. It's the Filipino language. In a short amount of time, I was able to communicate with them confidently. And even 5 years later, I never forgot what I learned because the methods proved to be working and confidence. So look at me speaking it 5 years later without practicing the language.
Kumusta kaibigan? Ano balita?
Mabuti.
Mabuti naman.
Yeah.
Gutong ako.
Gutom ka na?
Sobrang. Gutong is hungry, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Inat, the coffee is, ano ang Tagalog ng coffee? Mainit, di ba?
Kape mainit. Kape.
Kape.
Yeah,
Oh,
coffee.
Philippine.
Yeah.
Kape mainit.
Yeah.
Okay. Salamat po.
You're welcome.
Okay.
And so there you see I have confidence in speaking because I don't care what people think. I don't care what people think about my Tagalog. I'm trying to learn the language and they need to accept it. And that's what I want you to feel, my students, okay? So that's the purpose of this PDF, to help you to gain confidence. Let's start with the first hack, all right? Because your pain is my pain, like I wrote here. I feel your pain. I know what it feels like. But I don't want you to feel that way anymore because I don't feel that way. But before I do, I want to show you two people who followed my tips. And I want you to see the results that they gained because of the tips I gave them. Now, mind you es una manera de decir ojo, or eso sí, right? Mind you, these are people who took my course. And in my course, it was easier for them to follow the tips that I'm giving to you now because they have that motivation. So look at Jose before. He says, I need more confidence. I don't last long in my meetings, so he can't express himself in meetings. Look at him before.
Let me think. I'm going to paint my wall, and I don't know what color to use. What do you suggest?
Okay, no confidence or very little confidence, takes long to formulate ideas. What happened? After following the tips I'm going to teach you right now, look at him after.
When I started to work here in Canada, I was like always just hearing the other people, not talking a lot. But right now I feel more confident. I share my ideas, I talk a lot with my boss. So I feel much better.
Confident. I feel more confident and fluent. Thanks, Daniel. Because he followed my tips. Ali Beth, another example. Look at her before and look at her after.
They are escape or escape. There are three people
This is her after.
inside the car when suddenly an earthquake starts. And after that, and the three people inside the car fell down in a street hole. And the driver
Confident, fluent, maybe not 100%, but much better than before, right? She's more confident. Why? Because she followed the tips that I'm going to teach you right now. The first tip, the first hack is mentality. You need to change your mentality. Cambiar tu mentalidad completely. Why? Because this is especially true for Latinos. Latinos have a lot of confidence in many things, right? But with languages, it's different. Why? Why? Oh, I'm gonna make a mistake. Oh, they're going to laugh at me. No se dice laugh me, sino laugh at me. What do I do? Remember, even gringos make mistakes. This guy, if you watch this video, he makes mistakes. Okay? Let's look at someone here who makes a very big mistake. He says sneaked or snuck, que es como me metí por ahí a escondidas. I snuck into the room. And she says, oof, it sneaked. You are wrong. But look.
But there's a time when you snuck into the room to see what the...
I sneaked into the room. Snuck isn't a word, Conan. And you went to Harvard and you should know that.
See? Ahí le dice, snuck isn't a word.
There's a... Oh, no, I'm sorry, wait, there's a... I keep a dictionary down here and I just found it. Just want to look at... Oh, what the hell? Look right here. Snuck, past and past part of sneak.
So it is a word. But the point is, she was wrong. Right? She was wrong. And she's a native. So if you make a mistake, don't worry. You're learning. It's okay to make mistakes. Change your mentality. And that's what this gentleman did here. Well, first let's talk about how to fix it. But then I'll show you Fabian. He's tried every method to learning English. But he becomes my student. He follows my tips. And we'll see what he says afterwards. But look, how can you change the mentality? It's not enough to only think, I need to change my mentality. I can speak English. That's good. Have that mentality. But you need to tomar medidas. You need to take steps. Take steps es tomar medidas, right? And you need to set small, achievable challenges. Retos pequeños alcanzables. And this will help you to stop being afraid of speaking the language. So, what can we do? The first challenge. And I want you to do these challenges for 2 or 3 days each. So, challenge 1 for 3 days or 2 days. Challenge 2 for 2 days or 3 days. So, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, challenge 1. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, challenge 2. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, challenge 3. And I want you to send a voice message. This is what Alibeth, Jose, and Fabian are doing. This is what's helping them. I want you to send a voice message to a friend or a family member. And I want you to tell them about your day or about your weekend. Why a friend? Why a family member? Because a friend or family member, I'm going to drink some coffee. Oh yeah, coffee's my fuel. A friend or family member, you're not afraid to speak to them because you trust them. You know them. No son extraños. They're not strangers, so you can speak to them, right? It's a small challenge, but you need to start crawling, gateando, before you start walking with confidence también es lo mismo. Challenge 2. Post a WhatsApp story telling your contacts that you're learning English. So you grab your phone, you go to WhatsApp, you go to status. Yo sé que a ustedes les gustan usar las historias de WhatsApp, right? You like using WhatsApp stories. If you don't, go to my status, and I want you to tell your followers, your contacts, that you're learning a language. I'm going to do it now with Italian because I do want to learn Italian. Y sí he estado aprendiendo italiano. And I'm going to share my progress. Voy a compartir mi progreso con ellos. I'm going to share my progress with them. And that's going to make me not be afraid. Watch. Para que vean. All right, so I want to let you guys know that I'm going to be learning Italian, right? So you're going to see stories of me learning Italian. So if you see anything that I say wrong for my Italian friends, correct me, all right? And I can use your support and your motivation. Boom. Sharing. And if you have my WhatsApp, if you're a student or an ex-student, watch. It's going to be there. You can't be afraid. It's only a language. It's not a big deal. No es la gran cosa. It's only a language, right? Challenge number 3. Walk up to a stranger and start a conversation with them. Comienza una conversación con un extraño that you don't know. That's the biggest step you can take. After you do that, se te perderá el miedo. You won't be afraid anymore. That's what Fabian did, right? I'm pretty sure he did step 3. He definitely did challenge 1 and challenge 2 because he takes classes with me. And I help him. I guide him. It's easier when you have a teacher. I don't care about making mistakes anymore. I can speak freely now. Fabian. He wasn't like that at the beginning. At the beginning, he was afraid. Now, he doesn't care about making mistakes. He doesn't care. And it's only 6 weeks. 6 weeks after following these tips that I'm teaching you, of course, with my guidance, con mi guía, in my courses. Let's go to the second hack. The second hack is to practice. Teacher, duh, obviamente, I need to practice. I know that already. Yes, but are you doing it? Are you practicing? No, why? Maybe you don't know who to practice with. Maybe you don't know what platform to use. Don't worry, I'm going to teach you right now. So it doesn't matter how much you know, how much you study. If you don't practice, you won't get confidence. And if you don't have confidence, te vas a bloquear. You're going to forget. This happens even in Spanish. If you speak Spanish or whatever language that you speak, what happens when you're nervous? You forget. You forget everything. So if that happens with your native tongue or language, it's going to happen with English. So you need to practice. How? 2 ways. 1, you can find friends to chat with on Facebook, Instagram, or other social media platforms. And I'm going to tell you a secret one that you probably don't know about, and also apps. And 2, we're going to talk about joining a practice community. I have a practice community, but you can join one, and that's also another way, and a way that Fabian, Jose, Alibeth, and right now you'll see others who did that, and it helped them a lot. Okay? So, search for friends online. Search for people who are in your level. And remember this, the person that you want to practice with, they also have the same fears, miedos, the same obstacles, the same insecurities as you. So, deberías sentirte con miedo de preguntarles? Should you feel afraid of asking them to learn with you? No. Es más, you can go on your WhatsApp and tell them, who wants to study with me? I'm looking for an English partner. Go on your Instagram. Let's do this together, right? Take the first step. And that's something that you can do, right? Bonus tip. There are websites that are designed to connect two people who speak two different languages that can help each other. What am I talking about? Well, digamos, let's say that there's a gringo who wants to learn Spanish, okay? But then there's you, a Spanish, un Latino who wants to learn English. You can connect with each other and help each other. The website is HelloTalk. It's an app that you can use. You can download the app. They have a free version. I think they have a paid version too. So it's free, but then you can also pay for more. But even with the free version, you can connect with people. They have text, voice, and video, right? They have language tools. It's like Facebook and Instagram, but with languages. It's amazing. Highly recommend that website. Something you can do. And there are others like this. What's the second option? The one I recommend is to join a practice community. Why is this better? Because it's supervised practice. Because if you're learning with someone else that's in your level, there's no supervision. And even if you're learning with a gringo, the gringo doesn't know how to explain complicated, cosas complejas, of the language. Maybe a trained teacher can, right? That's called subconscious grammar, gramática subconsciente. They don't have to think about using it. Nadie les enseñó al gringo a por qué se usa up después de hurry up, o clean up, or clean out. Nadie le tuvo que enseñar eso. O porque a veces se usa el presente para hablar del pasado. Why we use the present to talk about the past, or the past for the present. These are things you need to learn. And you can do that in a practice community. Benefit two is that you stay motivated. You stay motivated doing that. Why? Because you have your teacher, you have the other students, you formas parte of a community. Benefit three, two things. You see the same people and you build confidence, right? Because we have what's called practice rooms, aulas de práctica. You're going to see the same people. And when you see someone who you know, you have no sé cómo decirlo en español. They're familiar with you, familiar, right? And if you're familiar with them, you can build confidence. Because if you're familiar and you know them, fulano, Fabian, I know him. Es Erika. Let's have conversation. Ella ya sabe mis errores. She knows my mistakes. I know her mistakes. But then you also practice with different people. And you need that. You need those two things. Practice with the same people, build your confidence. And if you practice with different people, it also builds your confidence. Why? It builds your confidence because like muscle. When you work out, cuando haces ejercicio, you're breaking the muscles. Estás rompiéndolo. It hurts. When you eat and when you sleep, you build that muscle. You build the muscle. So when you practice with different people, in the beginning, si tú sabes ese video de in the beginning, es bien chistoso. You gotta watch it. Si no lo sabes, no se preocupe, pero... Okay, in the beginning, it hurts. I don't know him. I don't know her. I'm gonna make a mistake. He's going to judge me. No te va a juzgar. But after, you feel more confident. And benefit 4 is that it is a proven method. Es un método comprobado because, as you will see, many students have learned from it, benefited from it, right? But it's up to you. Viviana, one of my students, she's taking practice rooms. She's one of my students. What does she say? I feel more confident and I see how my English skills and fluency have improved. Viviana before had fear of speaking the language, and she's someone who's confident, naturally. Viviana is naturally confident, I can tell. But she was sometimes afraid of saying the wrong things, but now she feels more confident and her fluency has improved. All right? Hack number 3, artificial intelligence, inteligencia artificial. Why does this build your confidence? I'm going to show you. First of all, don't underestimate it. No lo subestimes. That's what I did. Now I'm using it in my classes. It's perfect. It's like having a teacher assistant. And if you're a language learner, it's like having a teacher next to you. It's amazing. It's more accurate than ever before. Accurate is fijo. You ask a question, and it gives you a very clear answer. Reason 2, it's always there for you. 24/7. It's like having a teacher 24/7 next to you. And I'm going to show you how to use it. And you have immediate feedback. It corrects you right away, and it tells you what you need to work on. And it doesn't judge you, no te juzga. Es una máquina. So you can ask any question, anything you want. Sometimes as language learners, what happens? ¿Y si la pregunta es una pregunta tonta? You're afraid. And if I make a mistake, with ChatGPT, you don't have that fear. So check this out. This is ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT here this. I have trouble, tengo problema, using was and using the simple past. So when do I say I was eating and when do I say I ate? Can you tell me the difference and give me examples? What does ChatGPT do? Tells you the difference, gives you examples, right? And then I said, okay, give me homework, but I only have 10 minutes per day. And it gives you the homework, right? Maybe you want it more detailed, más detallado. Okay, please be more specific with the homework. And it gives you specific homework. It's amazing. You cannot underestimate it. No lo subestimes, because it is gold. Another piece of artificial intelligence that I recommend is Elsa. I'm not talking about, it's $15 a month, by the way, el que estoy hablando, right? It's great. I use it sometimes with my students. The free version, because they gave me 30 minutes. See, I have 30 minutes to use. So what I recommend that you do, usándolo solo no va a funcionar. It's not enough, right? Because you need to use it en conjunto, in conjunction with the other things. So for example, let's say you want to take an English class or you want to practice with someone. What do? You go here and you record yourself. Lo prendes mientras que haces while you have your class. And it's on, te está escuchando, and then it corrects you. You also have guided practice, job interviews, English test, sound natural. It's amazing. It will help you to sound natural, right? I'm using it as a tool, right? As a teacher assistant. You can use it to help you to have more confidence, okay? So, will you do it? Are you going to follow these tips? First, let's talk about what you lose. ¿Qué vas a perder? What are you going to lose if you don't follow the tips? Well, you're not going to find the job of your dreams. You won't make friends with others. You will always be afraid to speak, right? You won't lose that fear. You won't understand natives when they speak to you. And you won't have the satisfying feeling of learning a new language. And I tell you, my students, como alguien que está hablando el Tagalog, alguien que está tratando de aprender el italiano, someone who's trying to learn Italian, there is nothing better than learning the language and speaking it, or como se dice, defendiéndote en el lenguaje. Y ir más allá de defenderte, right? There's nothing better. It's un logro. It's maybe one of the biggest challenges and the best feeling that you can have to learn a language, right? If not, you're going to be like this guy. Will you do it? If you do, you will find a job. Vas a encontrar el trabajo de tus sueños. You will make friends. You will never be afraid to speak. You will understand natives when they speak to you. And you will have the satisfying feeling of learning a new language. Guaranteed. We've seen it. We've seen it with people, right? Viviana, Gabriela, Sandra, Naya, they all followed my tips. These are my students, of course, right? Jose, Blanca, Claudia, Ariana, Adrian, Katy, Scarlett, Sonia, many more followed my tips. And they are now speaking English with confidence. If you want to speak English fluently, if you want to hold a conversation, not hold literal, but mantener una conversación, if you want to hold the conversation, if you want to get a raise at work, if you want to get a better position, communicate better with your boss, with your work colleagues, if you want to be able to be confident, fluent, all of these things, then click on the link below and I want you to fill out the form. Fill out the form, llena el formulario, and I'm going to choose one out of all of you to get a free class with me. Yes, a free class. We're going to sit down through Zoom and we're going to make a plan to make you more confident in your English. So fill out the form below and I'll see you there. See you next time.